The consumer price index for last year
Okay.
is 1.5.
So we
And
don't
I did.
have estimates right now.
Well, that's just what the state put out there.
Okay.
I mean, that changes, what, every quarter or something?
Yeah, it does.
So,
It does.
so this would again be a policy decision. You can say anything you want.
You know,
Well,
if you work up the previous year's cost of living
No, it's-
index, consumer price index.
Yeah, I'm saying we gave the 3% goal.
I would like to remind you of one thing, and maybe it does or does not matter. The state of Kansas is going to take an additional 1% to fund the KPERS program for
Yep.
essentially your tenured
I know.
employees. So I just want to remind you, maybe you don't care, but, you know, if you gave 1.5, somebody might get a 0.5% raise.
Yeah.
But if we've got merit and, it seems like cost of living ought to mirror, at 12 months worth of consumer.
Well, oh, absolutely. I think that we need to have COLA at least keep up with price increases. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense to.
Right.
So would you see that as a 2%
I was
or 3%?
thinking a 2% for the COLA, understanding that, basically we're looking to incentivize
Well,
performance.
originally I was kind of along the same lines, but understanding the KPERS portion of that,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure what our average salary is within the city. Let's guesstimate it at $40,000, just for a nice number. A 1% increase once they've lost the KPERS side of that
I
is
know.
$400 spread over 12 months. You're not speaking of a very large impact for very many individuals. So that leads me back to mirroring last year's, where we were already having to catch up for 4 years and not being able to do things when others within our area were able to do. I know we had some information, I can't remember when we last saw it, but about the cities that were able to offer COLA increases over the last year, or they've done higher merit increases. I know Cheryl has a little bit of information on that. So we're still trying to catch that up to figure out the perfect scenario. I think that 3% is probably the right number, understanding the CAPER requirements for this year have changed, and trying to help the employees with that side of things, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you have a fully engaged workforce that feels rewarded for their efforts, and I think this is a way to do so.
If we did 3%, I mean, you have to move numbers around and everything, but are we able to do 3%?
And we'll be able to see that as part of the package to see the full budgetary impact too. We'll have that information details. You really need to get caught up in that side of it.
When will we have that? The books published or printed?
Prior to the August 4th meeting, but no specific date can be pinpointed at this time, where they turn over the information and we provide them with the student.
So
That's appropriately said.
So
Yeah.
do I hear consensus for 3% COLA?
My biggest concern about 3 is that I think we need to come up with a number that keeps up with CPI, but still incentivizes higher performance. And 3%, you're really close to that edge where
The larger bonus potential still on the merit increase
That's
side,
true.
so it still incentivizes those to perform at the highest level. And that's the difference between a 3 and a 7, which is what we had last year. So your highest performers will see the rewards out of that, so they'll be encouraged to do so, and the others that see them receive the recognition will be able to do that.
I would feel better with 2.5, but if it's consensus of the board, of the body to go with 3, then.
Let's 3%, Tori,
I'm 3.
Pete, Larry.
I can't support any increase.
Okay.
I'm 3.
And there's people out there working in the city that these are still the best jobs in the city, and I'm not trying to denigrate anybody, but they're not getting merit increases or COLA increases that are tied to CPI, so.
Well, consensus is 3. And actually, Steve was 2.5, yeah, we're percentage points up from 80%.
So with that, City Administrator, I don't have anything else to say unless you need something else.
No, we were asked to, at the June 16th meeting, to look at making salaries market competitive. My recommendation to you would be, and we did look at the Mark study, to look at how our salaries, lined up. Based on my professional experience, I think that we need to drill down and look at several other factors that the Mark study may not have considered. So my recommendation would be that we look at that upon completion of a compensation and benefit study. And so we would secure someone who specializes in that, to prepare that for us, and then we come back to see how we might make salaries more competitive instead of trying to adjust it as part of this budget cycle. So I wanted to give an update because we were asked to look at that and see if there's a council consensus on us waiting until we get that more detailed information.
Does council support the wage and benefit study?
There's been support for quite some time. for that,
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
So we would do that before we make any adjustments, you know.
Sure.
But I guess, if I may, until we prove that we're not able to hire people and that people are leaving in a manner that's well above, average, I think, aren't we paying them well enough? And, I mean, have we ever gone back to the economics of it and said, what jobs can't we fill at this price? And how great is the turnover? Has anyone ever looked at that?
Yep. We certainly have.
Can we get those numbers?
We were given those numbers in
When?
work session or previously. I would have to go dig through previous agendas.
What did we discuss on that meeting? I don't remember.
If you wanna go back and find that, and.
I don't seem to recall it. I figured you'd tell me.
Mary, can you provide that?
We can
I mean,
pull it.
I
Yeah.
don't have it off the top. It looks at
We did.
1, 2, and 3 year trends and how much turn we've had in specific positions, like our city clerk position is a.
We did a 5-year trending, and we told you how many positions turned over within that 5-year period, and yes.
We're way above average.
There was also some information from exit interviews, I think, that Mary was able to present as well, some analytical information rather than just statistical.
Yeah, no, and yes, I don't remember when it was, or can't point exactly to it. I remember it being very helpful at the time.
We will get.
Wages and benefits, I believe, were one and number 1A reasons why individuals were leaving. I don't think there's any dispute on this.
Anyone else? We're at 9:40. But hey, I'm in for the long run. Anybody else has anything they want to continue with this evening? That's fine. Otherwise, I suggest that we close the work session and move on. Not hearing anybody speak up, we will move on. Thanks, everybody, for coming in, spending an extra hour.
Okay.
Thank you.